Okay, so before this video starts, has nothing to do with it, but I went to the bathroom this morning when me and Austin woke up, and as I was going pee, he sent me this selfie right here. What would you do in that situation? Would you go back to bed? Would you drown yourself in the bathtub? Ignore it? What would you do? Would you send a funny one back? Please let me know because I'm having PTSD. Okay, thank you, bye. Hey cuties! Mwah! So today I'm going to be doing a story time of Mexico, of the time that we almost got thrown in jail, detained, fined, in trouble in Mexico. Okay, so if you want to listen to this, keep on watching, girly pants. First of all, yeah, I know, you can see my bra through my shirt. I saw Nicole Richie doing it in like 2004, so I wanted to do it as well. Okay, so first of all, this is a true story. This really happened in Cancun, Mexico, literally as soon as we got there. So, whoa! Okay, so if you guys don't know, I went to Cancun, Mexico with my boyfriend, Austin, because he wanted to get his teeth reconstructed. It's been a dream of his for years, and he did so. I vlogged it. I did a whole vlog. I think I vlogged every single day we were there. So my vlog channel is linked down below. So if you guys want to check out vlogs of other things and also his teeth before and after the journey, other things we did, it's all linked down below there if you guys like travel vlogs or just curious about his teeth. Alrighty, poo? Okay, the flight was good. We actually had a direct flight, and I live in like nowhere, Canada. I live in Saskatchewan, Saskatchewan, Canada, and there was a direct flight from Cancun, so I was like, woohoo! Okay, so the flight was good, no problems, no issues. Flying, but it was good. There was no complaints at all. We land in Mexico and I was like, holy crap, it's so busy here. Like, it is insane. Like, there was like thousands of people waiting for their bags. Once we got to like the bag collection carousel area of the airport, I don't know what the fuck to call it. Baggage claim, girl. We can see like people from our flight. We see that it's our flight, Saskatoon, and it starts going like the what is it, conveyor belt or whatever starts moving. Obviously they start moving at first. Bags don't just automatically start shooting out. I don't know if you've ever been to a baggage claim. Some of you guys haven't. Don't even come at me in the comments being like, we know how it can. Not everyone knows how it goes, okay? It starts going, and my thing is like, I don't like flying, and I'm always scared I'm gonna lose my bag. That's like my number one thing. So it is so busy at the carousels. We landed and it's so busy here. And I'm watching. So I see people from our flight grabbing their bags, because that's like what I watch for. I don't just rely on like where it's like the destination, like Saskatoon. I also like try to like pinpoint people from the trip. So anyways, I see people, I'm like, okay, my anxiety goes down a little bit, right? Like, okay, good. The third bag that comes out is like exploded. Like something exploded in it, I should say. It didn't explode. Oh my god, that sounds so bad. It just exploded. Combust. Something in somebody's bag exploded in their bag onto the carousel. So I was like, cool. Like, I don't know what that liquid is. Like, were they super rough with everything, or was it just them? So I'm like, cool. Like, I just hate this part, is like collecting the bags. The 9th-ish bag came out and it was mine. And I was like, sigh of relief, like so happy. It's almost like we touched down, we landed, we're safe, we're sound, my phone is working, I have all my stuff, I have my passport, I got through. That's when I'm like, oh, I can finally be on vacation. I don't know if you guys, some of you feel like that or can relate. Like, my dad's the opposite. He's like, oh, whatever, like, go with the flow. Like, if the plane goes down, the plane goes down. Like, he's like, you can't control it. And I'm like, I'm not gonna be happy till my feet are on the ground. Like, so Austin grabs my bag. And I'm like, yes, thank God, frick. And then people start dwindling down from that carousel. It's still very busy because there's a lot of different carousel sections. It starts dwindling down from like the Saskatoon flight. We're waiting for Austin's bag, by the way. And then we start seeing now like the same bags going around and around, but there were still bags being placed. It's not like it was lost yet. I'm telling them the story of how you almost got arrested. Okay. So then there was empty space for when, because everyone crowds around like where the bags drop from when the people like put the bags on the drop thing. So that was dwindling because there was a lot of bags coming out. So then we just go over there, right? Because there's room and space, and I carry my bag over. And ours are like distinctive, like we know what ours look like, you know what I mean? And then it starts going down, and all of it, as soon as it's starting, this is so hard to explain. So they put it on and then it drops, right? And then it goes onto the carousel. It is like this, and all of a sudden you can see it leaning, and then it falls off halfway, kind of. So the carousel is still moving, but it's like halfway. So like the carousel is like running underneath it, and like the handle of it is like going like this because it's a running carousel. And we're like, oh my God, what do we do? Like, right? What do we do? Like, right, what do you do in that situation? What do you do? So we're waiting. So it falls a little bit off more, but it's not fully off and it's not fully on. So it's like on there. So we're like, what the hell? So we're just like watching it. And I think I have a clip of it here. I hope I do, because I can't remember exactly how it looked. So I don't want to like guess exactly how it looked, because people can be psycho on the internet. So his bag fell off of the carousel. You can see it sitting. You can see the little bit of brown right there. It's sitting right there. I don't know what to do in this situation. So we're not allowed back there. Obviously, we're not gonna go back there. Okay, I'm sorry this is super hard to see because there's these flaps there and the bag is kind of half on, half off. You can't see what I see. I can't really zoom in there. You know what I mean? I hope you can see a little bit there, but it is on and off. I don't know. It's so hard to explain, but I hope this can somewhat give you guys a visual representation of some kind. But basically, we know that that's his bag because we saw it come out a little bit, then go back, and we don't know what to do because it's literally just sitting there. What do you do? So then we realized that everyone on their flights have received their bags, because there's like a few stray bags. Sometimes that happens, right? We don't know what their situations are. We see like nobody else from our flight. About 10 minutes later, the belt or whatever stops, and we're right now beside like the hole that it comes out, and we're like looking in the back, and we're like, okay, like what? Because now, is that gonna be a lost bag? We have a car booked, maybe we could reschedule it, but like the car is like for his teeth shuttle, and like other people are on the shuttle too. We don't want to hold them up. And then like, what do we wait for baggage, lost baggage, when we can just, we see the bag right there, you know what I mean? Do we file a claim? Do we wait and have it delivered to our hotel? I've heard some people, like if they have a lost bag, get it delivered, like if you watch Meet the Fockers. I shouldn't say I've seen people. I've watched Meet the Fockers and he has his luggage delivered to him. So we're like, do we just grab it? And then there's a sign. You could clearly tell it says do not enter, right? But it stopped. Like it stopped, and we're just like standing there. There's a couple next to us at the next carousel, not on our flight, not associated, waiting, and they're like right beside their baggage drop too, and they look at us and they're like, literally, we're waiting for our bags too. Ours are lost too. Austin said, ours aren't lost, but mine is literally sitting right there. And one of the dad, I would assume he's the dad, came over, because he had his passport, his high socks. He had all the passports in his high socks. So the dad comes over and he's like, oh shit, yeah, there it is. And he's like, I don't know what to do, because do you just grab it? Do you just grab it? First of all, we're in a foreign country. Doesn't matter what country it is, doesn't matter anything. You have to obey the laws and be respectful in anyone's country that you visit, no matter what country it is, right? So we just don't know what to do at all. We start looking around for an employee. It is even more busy. You can tell another flight is coming in, and then that carousel is probably gonna house another flight that's coming in. So there's so many people crowding around here, and like the bag is like right there in our cusps. I was like, well, can we like say something? Like, what do we do? Like there was like a podium, but no one was there. Like at like the baggage claim, no one was there. So I went and took a little walk at the other like podiums. No one was at any of them. So then I see somebody walking, like just past, like with like a walkie-talkie type thing. You could tell that they're, you know, security or something like that. And I was like, excuse me, and like it's Mexico, so I know some Spanish, but I don't know. Hello, my bag kind of tilted off and is half on and half off of the carousel. Can you help me? Like that I don't know how to say. So I'm like, hola, ayuda, por favor. And then I'm like pointing, I'm like, ahí, like over there, like please, like I'm laughing at myself, by the way, just for me being like, I didn't know what to do. She realizes that Spanish is not my first language. And then she kind of like not laughs at me, but like, you know, like smiles, because I'm like broken Spanish here trying to like get help. And then she said, sorry, I'm just a janitor. And then I'm like, okay. Like perfect English too. And I was like, could you, and as I'm like saying like, could you, she's like, she just keeps walking, like literally me. What? That's me. It's me as a janitor. I'd be like, it wasn't funny then, it's funny now. So I'm like, okay, so I'm literally looking around. There's so many people, but no like workers. I'm like, what? So I go back to Austin and I'm like, I tried to like get somebody, but like there's literally no one. So he doesn't go through the hole. He like sticks his head through, you know, and like as much as he could without like going on, going past it. And he's like, excuse me, hola, hola, like my bag fell, hello, is anybody there? Like he's trying to, like, he's using his voice, like if somebody was back there, they would hear him. Like, I'm just saying that, okay? They would hear him. So the dad looks at us and he's like, it's no use. Like, we've already tried to ask multiple people. We've tried to do that. Like, there's literally no getting our bag. And I'm trying to, like, I don't want to be mean to him and be like, if your bag's lost, like, go to lost and found, right? Like, or something. I don't know what their situation fully is, but like, you know what I mean? If it's lost, it's lost. If, I don't know. Anyway, but our situation is like our bag is right there. We can see it. Like, do we just grab it? Like, right? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go further down into like, like customs area or like inspection area, stuff like that. So I go further down and I see people in different colored outfits. So I say the same thing. I just kind of in broken Spanish explain. Everyone like usually speaks English pretty well there. I like, it's so impressive nonetheless. Like I could go into a whole detail of that. Like that's so impressive. But I was like, our bag got stuck on the carousel, in between the carousel and off of it. I was wondering if we could get some help. And she said, sorry, only work here. You're just gonna have to wait. Wait, okay? So I was like, wait. And then she's like, next, because there was like a lineup of people. So I'm like, okay. So I go even further. So I see somebody else standing like just like a random seat thing. And then I say the same thing, like same thing. And then they say to me, which one? And then I pointed and I'm looking and I don't remember what number it is now, but I told them what number or what carousel thingy it is. And then they said, okay, well, the workers should be there soon. So I was like, okay. So I go back to where Austin is. Austin told me that he had found another worker that was just passing by. She told him, don't worry about it. It's fine. Just keep waiting. So we didn't know what that meant either. So Austin then calls again. There's no one around. So Austin steps up onto the thing, like literally 1 foot on it. Like he steps 1 foot, grabs it like this, and I'm talking, as soon as he grabbed it like this, like his just 1 foot was on it and he grabbed it, the bag got like with like a gloved hand, boom, on it, like stopped it. And then literally 1 second later, there's like a police officer behind me and she's like, has a whistle and she's whistling it and I like jump because she's right behind me and she goes, no. And I'm like, oh my God. And now everyone, and I told you it's busy in here, it's busy. Everyone is staring at us. I'm like, oh my God, like, holy Jesus. And the guy comes out of this hole with a hat on. He is armed, like literally gun badge vest. And he is mad. And I am so scared. Like, I know that we did that wrong. Like, I didn't know what to do, but yet, like, I tried to get help, but like, no one was helping me. Oh my God, it was so scary. He was just speaking Spanish, and Austin was trying to tell him, I'm sorry. The bag fell. And now I'm talking to the lady, and he's like taking the bag away, and Austin's like immediately like went like this to like, you could have the bag. He's like, no. And he kept like, no, bad, like this. And I'm like, holy shit. Everyone was staring at us because obviously, right? So first of all, my first question is, where were you when when Austin was calling out, like asking for help, asking, like saying, excuse me, being very loud? Where were you that whole time when, like, as soon as the bag like moves even a little bit, you're like, boom, right on it? You were clearly there. I don't know, like, you could have just like acknowledged us is all I'm saying. Like, I So then the police officer, she just goes, she goes like this, she goes like that, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I said the bag fell. I tried to ask for help. I'm so sorry. We do not want any problems. I'm sorry. The bag, we watched it, like, it like tilted and then it like fell. Like, you know what I mean? Like off halfway. And I said, I'm so sorry. Like and then the carousel was stopped completely and we kept waiting and we're really not sure what to do. So I'm sorry that we just grabbed it. I said, it's completely our fault. I very much apologize. She goes, doesn't matter. And then has her notebook out and she's writing a bunch. I don't know what she's writing. She's writing a bunch of stuff down. She goes, it doesn't matter. And I said, I'm so sorry. And she goes, sorry, it doesn't matter. And then she's like pointing at the sign that says like, don't stand on, don't go in. Like, obviously we were in the wrong, like Austin. But like, we were in the wrong for going in there. We're just like kind of standing there, and then she goes behind the podium that is right beside us, and there's a phone there. So she makes a phone call, and I don't know what she's saying. And then this guy is still so mad, and Austin's like, I'm sorry. After the girl makes the phone call, she gets Austin's bag from that guy, and the guy said, don't ever do that again, ever. And I was like, oh my God, we're literally not getting in this country. Like, we're not going to get into the country, which is like fair if they didn't let us in, because like literally like if that's their rules and we broke the rules, like It's disrespectful for us to do, no matter what the situation is. No matter, like, I should have waited. We should have waited. We should have tried other things. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, that's why I kind of want to know your guys' opinions on this. She pulls the bag off. Like, they both, like, pull the bag off. Like, I was genuinely super scared. I was scared. I didn't know what was happening. She was just saying no, and that we couldn't leave and to stay with the bags, and I understood that because they were getting everything sorted. And then, like, she kind of slides the bag, like Austin's, because I have mine, right? So she kind of slides Austin's bag. She doesn't hand it to him, but she, like, slides it in his direction. So, like, I put my hand on it, and she's like, immediately when I put my hand on it, she goes, no, you cannot leave. You're coming with me. And I was like, what? Like, wait, what? So then the guy on the back is still staring at us, like, won't take his eyes off of us. Is like, and also just said again, like, sorry. So she's like, follow me. So we're literally, now we're getting a police escort. A bunch of people, everybody is like, well, not everybody's staring at us, but like you could imagine, like we're literally being escorted. Okay, so now we're being escorted by some sort of officer because Austin just grabbed his bag. We immediately got like whistled. We were waiting here almost an hour and like the bag was just sitting there and it fell off. You can see the female officer escorting us to a separate location with our bags. There was also another officer behind us in the same outfit escorting us as well. So she takes us to this like secondary inspection area. We were following her. I'm not gonna mock or mimic, or because it's gonna sound like that, the language barrier, the accent barrier, I guess. I just didn't understand, and I look at Austin, I said, what is she saying? And he said, I think she's saying bibs. I'm like, but that doesn't make sense. Like, right, like that doesn't make sense. Like, why should we be asking that, right? And I don't have anything, like, I have like bikinis in my bag. So I was like, no, but she wasn't really concerned about my bag. And then Austin said, no. Well, she was saying vapes. Austin had a vape. So he literally said no to her. It doesn't matter if he understood her or not, right? He shouldn't have said no. He should have been like, I don't understand. So we get to this secondary inspection. She just stands like outside of it, and then she points to us to one of the guards, I guess you call them. Sorry, I don't know what they're called. And then the guy goes, he's very, very nice. And he's like, yeah, put your bags on there. Obviously it's not my bag, but so I just let Austin go first. He's opening it and he's like, no vapes, right? And he opens it, and then Austin's like, oh, yes, I have a vape. And then the security, or whatever he is, looks at the police officer, and then she went, and I went, oh my God, she was saying vapes. Like, oh my God, like, now we're lying. Like, oh my God. And then she said, any drugs, alcohol, weapons, or like, so, you know, like the typical, and then Austin's like, no, none of that at all. He said, I have a pack of smokes in my pocket or something like that. He goes through all of his stuff, like everything. And I was like, oh my God, like what if they freaking pull out another vape? Like, you know what I mean? Like what if like oh my God, like I just feel so bad, and everyone's doing their job and we're like making things harder. I know like they're doing their job and they're doing such a good job at it. I like hate being the problem. You know what I mean? They zip his bag up. It's good to go. Then I put mine, and they're like the same questions. I'm like, no, like there's nothing in there but like sex toys and and bikinis. But yes, they look through mine and I zip it right up, and makeup and stuff. And I can't tell you how embarrassing it is to be escorted personally to a separate secondary search area by a police officer, also being screamed at by somebody like, I'm just so glad though that they are taking precautions and they are keeping people safe. Like that is the most important thing, but it's just so like nerve-wracking because you don't know what's gonna happen. So they searched everything. They searched our bodies. They searched my purse, like both of our carry-ons. They drug tested both of our hands, our phones. They not searched our phones, but they drug tested our phones, I think, because they like put a swab thing. Then they said for me to go stand like away, and then for Austin to give them his passport. And I was like, what? And then they took his passport. The initial girl, the police officer, and she was writing stuff down, and then she took his passport and literally left. And I was like, oh my God, like his passport, what if his passport's gonna be like hit? You know, like what if he has like a hit on it? Like not a hit out for him, but like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you can be like tagged for like something. I did a whole video on that because that happened to me once, and all she did was go, vapes. And I could understand now she was saying vapes, and I was like, oh my God. And then she was just like, and she just looked like disappointed at us, and then yeah, walks away with it. And then I was like, oh my God. And Austin's like, sorry, like I didn't understand what she was saying. And I'm just so flustered. He was so flustered and everything. And I was like, I don't know what they're doing with your passport. I don't know what the frick is happening. We were just so scared we were going to be denied entry into the country. And for this whole thing, we just wanted it to be over, as you can imagine. As we were waiting there, I'm just like sitting there waiting. This is why I didn't film any of this, because there was signs all around that. It's like, no, you know, like no, nothing. Like it's a security search area. Like just like, so I just was like standing there like this, like following every protocol possible. And then Austin takes out his cell cell phone. He's like, oh, like, he's like, this is just so stressful. And he opens to see if his data has connected to his cell phone, and like another lady in the area comes up to him and she's like, excuse me, no cell phones. And like she points and there's like this huge above his head sign that says no cell phones, no camera, no recording in just that area. And I was like, oh my God. And I went, oh my God, to him. Like I literally was like now mad at Austin, like, you're doing all this shit. And then he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And he was like so stressed out. He was like flustered, puts his phone in his pocket, and she was like, oh no, that's okay. I was just letting you know. But before, because we had been like whistled at, it was just, we didn't want to do anything wrong. And like Austin like kept doing things wrong, right? And he didn't mean to, like, oh my God. So at the end of the day, we knew we were at least getting a fine for something. We didn't know if we were also getting kicked out or what, but I like knew we were, because why would they take his passport away, right? It was about a 10-15 minute wait longer, and she came out, the same initial police officer that blew the whistle. She gave Austin his passport back, and she said, here you go, here are your bags, you're free to go. Never go into a restricted area ever again, and never stand on the carousel. And Austin said, I will never, ever, ever do it again. And she said, okay. And she smiled, and she was very like calm and just polite. Or she was always like polite, you know, she was just doing her job, but she was just a little bit more like lighter. And Austin's like, I will never, I'm never. And I was like, Lo siento, like, and Austin's like, sorry. And she's like, yes, here you go, you're free to go. I think they were just running his passport to see like if he had like, you know, warrants or something like that, or something bad on his passport, but obviously it was free and clear to go, so we were able to go. So when we stepped out of there, Austin's like, I have to shit, like I have to anxiety poop right now. So we went to, and I was like, I literally don't want to go running into a washroom right now, like, you know what I mean, because then that seems sus, like it just seems sus, like what are you going into so I was like, no, can we just wait like until we're past this area, you know, into like the touristy area, so that we can just like then go. And he's like, yes. So we go, and then he anxiety poops. Anyway, we made it! We got our bags, we finally are here.
Vacation?
Yeah.
They might, sorry, I'm a little
yeah, he's flustered. We had something happen, I'll tell you guys when we get back, or whenever, I'll tell you guys what happened, but basically it was a struggle. Now we're just waiting for our personal shuttle. Yeah, it was a little stressful getting in here. So after all that, what I was thinking, we were like playing all these scenarios in our head. What if there was a worker back there the whole time, and their job is to like pull off bags that either look sus, random, sometimes they're random to pull out. Maybe there was something sticking out of his bag. Maybe it went through a scanner and maybe the vape was showing in the scanner, you know what I mean? So like maybe that's his job, is to pull, and his job isn't to like listen to Austin being like, hey, can I get my bag, right? His job is to do his job and to take bags that are, you know, sus or random. So that's what I was thinking after, like on the cab ride, or the shuttle ride home, or to the hotel, sorry, the resort. I was like, what if that was the case? That's probably the case. It probably didn't fall, but like literally, because we can't see what's back there, right? We just see it like tilt and then like kind of slide and then kind of slide. So maybe he was like holding it, like grabbed it and like kind of held it and then pulled it a bit so it wouldn't continue on the cart. So that's maybe what it is, or maybe it just did fall on its own. I do not know, but because I wasn't back there and that's not my job, but maybe that's what it is. So us grabbing it, it's like sus, like we have it held back here and you're trying to grab it, like boom, 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 red flags, right? So I don't know, that's my analogy of it, and analysis. That's what I think. It's still a mystery, but I'm glad it's over. He didn't get a fine at all, and when we came back to Canada, he got right through with his passport at every time, so it wasn't like hit or anything like that. There was no like red flags on his passport, so that's okay. So that's an update. So we are just thankful and honored to be able to enter a country, and even after all of that and like breaking so many like literally laws, to have people like just listen to us and still let us in the country. It's a privilege to be able to enter somebody's country. Just like treat workers with respect. That's their job, and just treat them with respect, especially if you're doing something wrong. Like if you're doing the thing wrong, they're just doing their job. Some people freak out and then be Karenese about it and stuff like that. It's like, just make people's lives easier and it'll be easier for you in the long run. Also, another side note, so they said, Austin's like, I can't have a vape. Not in a mean way. Sorry, I sounded like attitude when I said that. He's like, so I can't have a vape? And to the guy that was searching the bags. And he's like, no, sorry, vapes are banned here in Mexico. And we had heard that like on TikTok and stuff like that, but we didn't know for sure. And like TikTok isn't the law, right? So we don't know. But the whole time in Mexico, we saw people vaping like on the resorts. And then when we were off the resort, when we were going to like his dentist appointment and like markets and stuff to bring food and snacks home. We saw like vape shops, people selling vapes. We bought a vape in the resort, actually, at the tobacco shop. Like, just bought a vape, even though we thought they were illegal here. Lower. She said stinks. Actually smells like Jello, like strawberry Jello. You good? Okay, so apparently you can buy vapes in some areas, but you can't bring them over the border, which is so weird, but whatever. So it's just a little confusing in that way because it's like they don't sell vapes, but yet they do. I don't know. Moral of the story, follow the rules and regulations of any country you're visiting. Doesn't matter if the rules are rules in your country and you're just being like, oh, well, in my country this happened. Follow the rules. Do not cross signs that tell you not to cross. Be polite to authority. Just respect people. Follow the rules. And yeah, I do not know what to tell you about if that happens to your bag. I don't know what to do. I don't know if we were going to be waiting there for hours. I didn't know if we were supposed to put in a lost claim. I do not know what was going to happen, right? So I would love to know your opinions about that. But that's the story time of how we almost got arrested and fined and detained in Mexico. So I'm glad it all worked out. Ugh, I'm so happy about that. I feel bad about the couple or the family that lost their bag. I hope everything's going well for them. That was the entire story. I hope you guys have a good day. You guys always love story times, and I said I was going to do a story time in Mexico. So just be respectful of any country you're entering, and I love you guys. Have a great day. Have fun today. Eat a pear. Who eats pears? Do people eat pears anymore? I feel like it's such an underrated fruit. Eat a pear today, or think of one. Love you guys. Bye.